The reason I adore this article is because it brings a window into the new normal trademark. This is how things should be. This is how things are going to be. You look at California now, which many political analysts and journalists consider to be an exemplary state, right? It's got everything. It's got diversity, and most importantly, it's got a lot of wealth. It is one of the richest American states, and it's being led by decent and normal people, right? The Democrats, they're leading California now. In fact, it is such a democratic stronghold that people don't even care about how California is going to vote at the election. They already know they're going to vote blue, so it's just expected, like no one cares. But what they forget to mention, what they forget to leave out, is the fact that despite being one of the wealthiest states and despite taxing people to the point where you can't even call it taxation, it's just like the California state allows you to keep 40% of your profits. Like that's not taxation. You know, it's just like what the government allows you to keep. The wealth disparity is astonishing. It is off the scale. The fact that you have a record number of homeless people there is astonishing, is off the scale. The crime rate is starting to grow. You have shit on the streets. This is the future. People are running out from this. The price of a house is unnaturally high. I seen a documentary a couple of weeks ago, and they were trying to sell this house, which would cost $1 million, and it looked like a shack. It looked like some pieces of cardboard put together in order to look like a house, and that was like something cheap that you can afford there. Okay? And they don't blame the politicians for this. Never. No, it's almost like this just happened overnight. It's just like this is normal. Like politicians have nothing to say in how the economy runs. You know, like the idea that, okay, we're going to tax the rich, tax, and then wealth redistribution. Well, I see that the Democrats in California are very good at taxing. They're very good at seizing the wealth from the 1%, but they're very bad at the redistribution part. That's where it seems to be ending. You know, like that is where the mentality finishes. It's like, okay, we can take the money and then we give it. No! Ours! It is ours now! Ha ha ha! Speaking about people that go ha ha ha, you know, crazy people. Have you guys listened to the Economic Forum recently? My God, like whenever I tune into the Economic Forum, they keep talking about the Corona crisis. There's this guy, Schwab, you know, Schwab. Very freaky fellow when you actually come to think about it. Like he speaks with a normal voice. He doesn't go like me. He doesn't go like ha ha ha. He doesn't do the crazy, you know, because when you do the crazy, people lose you. But no, he speaks like, this is your captain speaking. What we are going to do now is we are going to take advantage of the human misery and this crisis in order for us to push our agenda. This is a very opportune moment for us in order to push for something that normally we would not be able to push. We need governments to become more authoritarian, to gain more power, and to take away from... You know, like this is how he speaks. And because he speaks like that, and he's got like this really nice suit, everyone is like, oh yeah, no, that's interesting. Do you know how I hear him? Do you know how I hear when I look at the Economic Forum? This is how I hear it. It's like, we need to take advantage of the crisis. People are dying when it's so opportune for us. Like, if we don't take advantage of the crisis now, if we don't take advantage of the crisis now, we will never get something so good happening to us. Oh, we can get rich out of this. Oh, we will get so wealthy and so much power. So much power. Now is the time. Now is the time, like right now. Right now is the time to seize this opportune moment. Oh, your grandmother died. Well, that's okay, because she created the opportune moment for us. Like, this is how I see it. But most people don't see it like that. Most people see just some people in business suits, you know, very calm, just telling you about these things. Like, they're literally telling exactly what I've said, but they put it in a nice package. They sell it in a nice way for the consumer, you know, for the public. It's just stay calm. Everything is going according to plan, okay? Our plan, not yours. We're going to do the proper plan. And we're going to make sure that you own nothing and you will be happy. Yes. Yeah. So you look at California now, right? And this is exactly, if you read Schwab's book, which I'm doing right now, it's a very depressing book, if you actually read between the lines. So this is their main purpose, okay? Like, and when I say they, I mean the 1%, as the left likes to call it, right? The 1%. The corporations, the people at the Economic Forum, they don't view countries as a place where people live. Like for them, countries isn't like an extended community. It's not a place where people happen to have their lives there. No, it's a place where economic transactions are happening. It's a place where business is occurring. And the main purpose of a country is not to ensure the well-being of its citizens or to ensure the well-being of the people living there. The main purpose of a country is to make money. A lot of money. Just pump that wealth. Pump it. Pump the wealth. And the problem is that when you pump the wealth, a lot of people are suffering. Now, normally it would be the left, right? Like leftist politicians and leftist activists and people like that would be against that. Because the left used to stand out for the little guy. And the little guy was persecuted by religion, it was persecuted by corporations, it was persecuted by the government. Now the left is on board. Now the left is like, pump the wealth, pump it, pump it up, pump it. And it's like the left is almost like, I would like to say, controlled opposition for the 1% at this point. It's like people are unhappy with the way things are going, right? Like they're unhappy that their companies is exploiting the living shit out of them. And it's like, oh, look, this ideology, socialism, is the ideology against the rich. Why don't you read it? And then they vote Democrat, which is the same people that are like, pump it up, pump the wealth, pump. You know, like, I don't understand what the fuck is going on now. It's just like so bizarre and so weird. So what you're going to have is like people fleeing California now, and they're going to other places like Texas and whatnot, and they're going to vote for the same people. They're like, pump the wealth, pump. And they're going to Californianize other places. Because this is what Californication looks like now. Very profitable, a lot of wealth to be pumped, much wealth to be pumped. But also, high income disparity, homelessness, shit on the streets, crime, drugs, all of this stuff. You know, and it's happening in Europe as well. Like you're going to see in European countries, in places that are suffering from the same ideology, all of the same. And I think like London is going to be next. Like London is going to have massive income disparity and homelessness, and it doesn't have shit on the streets yet, but I'm pretty sure it's going to get there. And what I also notice is the silence of the press. Like this is another feature of the system. Like notice how in the United Kingdom, since we brought it up, when UKIP, far-right party, right? When they talk about an immigration on a point system, oh my God, that's like what Hitler would have done. If you had a time machine and you brought Hitler from the past today, oh, that is literally the system that he would have in place. A point-based immigration system. Now that the conservatives who are in power are doing the exact same shit, they're doing literally the same point-based system that UKIP suggested, nothing in the news about it. Maybe a cricket here or two. You know, it's the same. Like UKIP talks about radical Islam. Oh my God, how can they say something like this? Oh, they're Islamophobe. They just hate Muslims for no reason. And now that Macron is saying literally the same shit, like literally, it's like, oh, well, well, he's Macron, you know, like he's a left-leaning person. As long as you do the correct things, you know, like you're a conservative government with Boris Johnson and you're echoing the exact same things that the left in America is echoing, build back better, build back better. What do you mean build back? Nothing has been destroyed yet. Or everything that's destroyed, you destroyed it. And before you build back, how about you first compensate the people who you destroyed? Huh? Isn't that like before you build back, you compensate people who you shot down? Whatever, you know, like fine, that's another topic. But like, okay, build back better. And as long as you say these things, the press leaves you alone. Isn't that magical? Isn't that like just fascinating? It's like the magic of getting the press to look the other way. Just like in The Guardian. They're not criticizing the leadership in California for what's going on. They're not criticizing the politicians. Why is that? Why do you think that is? Isn't it fascinating? I mean, looking at California doesn't sound like a place where I would want to live. Believe it or not, I live in Romania. You know, it's a poor nation, doesn't really have the same appeal like the United States. But we don't have shit on the streets. At least we don't have that. You know, the crime is at an all-time low. Yeah, okay, people aren't rich. There's still unemployment issues. But at least like the things that the government should fix are being fixed. Anyway, right, this is just my 2 cents. Let me know what you think and I'll see you guys in the comment section.